It's the NFL on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Buccaneers and the G-Men under the lights on Monday night.
We welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Brandon Gaughan, Charles Davis, thrilled to be with you from the broadcast booth. And, partner, before we get this thing started, what are you going to be watching?
Who gets off to a fast start? In horse racing terms, they talk about catching a flyer out of the gate. Who sets the pace and makes the other team chase?
Here's the former Illini kicker Chase McLaughlin to get us started. And we are underway from MetLife Stadium. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills. The ability to throw from the pocket and extend plays and throw on the run. Not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Play action. It's Wilson. He'll get this into the hands of the wideout from LSU. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. 3rd down, here's Tracy. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. A rough go there on 3rd down, a loss of 4. Well, so much for picking it up on the ground on 3rd down. 3rd play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them early, because they've now set the tone. They've set a precedent right here that if you're going to try and run the ball against us, it could be hard going throughout this game.
Call it an even 40-yard punt, 7, though, on the return, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by the number 1 overall pick in the 2018 draft, the Oklahoma Sooner, Baker Mayfield.
And he's a guy who plays with a lot of emotion. He's learned how to channel it really positively, because when he throws the football downfield and makes a big play, he'll be the first guy downfield to celebrate with you. But also, when his team needs that confidence, when they need that jolt, they turn to him, and he's ready to provide it. It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Now a 2nd and 6. Play fake. Mayfield. That's caught by Durham. That's good for a 1st down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive. The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3 and out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
To throw, Mayfield. He finds his target. It's Evans.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
from the 48-yard line. Here's 2nd and 3. Mayfield with it once more. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Well, that's absolutely going to fire this defense up. They made it their mission to deny that completion, and they came through with a nice hit and knocked it incomplete.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have the Buccaneers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A very solid gain of 27.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
I spotted man coverage on the outside. I expect we'll see a lot of that from this defense as this game moves on. And that was a good job there as that one was knocked away.
A line of scrimmage once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. And again, it's Mayfield. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Bucs put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Chase McLaughlin on for the extra point. And that one gives the Bucs a 7-0 lead. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go. Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
To throw is Wilson. Open target here, Darius Slayton. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Straight ahead, here's Tracy. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here's Wilson. That's complete. It's Neighbors. Fighting his way through contact. Still going. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Malik Neighbors, 60 yards. And the Giants are an extra point away from drawing level. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
And he went all the way into the end zone. Graham Gano on for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4. Mayfield on play action. The pass is caught by Cade Otton. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
On 1st and 10, here's Irving. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a 2nd down and 9. Now Mayfield. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Here's Mayfield. And that is incomplete.
Now that's a good bounce back after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive. Just 1 first down permitted and then out. Obviously no loss of confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
Now Riley Dixon on. He did his collegiate kicking upstate at Syracuse. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. New York set to take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Now it's Wilson. That is incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Now a 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Buying time to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. He's certainly one of those quarterbacks that can burn you with his mobility, but that time able to hem him in and get him to the ground.
Perfect descriptor right there about how they kept him in the pocket. Excellent job of containment, but they were still able to continue to bring such strong pressure without letting him escape. But how about those guys in the secondary as well? Kept the coverage tight, plastered to the receivers, and left no real options for him to throw it downfield.
And he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Ready to roll for the second quarter from MetLife Stadium. The Giants with the football. So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. Wilson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Shifts past him at the 45. And they stop him up short of the first down as they get him at about the 43. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Giants go on 4th but come up empty. And that will force a turnover on downs. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you pumped the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd and 4. Once again, it's Irving. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Now, we all know that an offense coordinator and a quarterback, they're aligned at the hip. But when you've got a runner who can get you that kind of yardage, that guy's invaluable.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll send a tight end in motion right. Mayfield to throw it. And there's a short one taken in by Otten. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Baker going to give it to Irving. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another first down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. A quick throw caught by Evans out wide. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. They go play action. Mayfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Throwing, Mayfield. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. So not only do you not get the first down, but you've also made things a lot more difficult on your field goal kicker.
Yeah, they're still in range, but you're exactly right, because you know the kicker's over there saying, thanks a lot, you just made my job a little tougher, because when he kicks it now, he'll kick it lower because he's got to get more distance. That means there's more jeopardy for the ball to get tipped or blocked.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26. And the Giants ready to come out now. They're coming off a 4th down gamble that last drive that backfired, CD, but really not as badly as it could. Their defense held up and only gave up 3 points.
And what they want to do is play off the momentum the defense gave them. Only giving up the 3 points in that situation after they failed on 4th down. Now they want to make it pay off. They want to pay homage to the defense and have their own drive pay off in points for themselves. I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
They'll go again with Tracy. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Well, you know they had a 3rd down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On the give, it's Tracy. To about the 40-yard line.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on 1st down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's a 2nd down and 6. Tracy trying the right side. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And it's knocked away and incomplete. It was Levante David who got the hand in there, knocked that pass away.
Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. This is taken at the 15. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll start on the ground with Irving. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
2nd down and 6 now. They run out of the gun with Irving. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
That is caught, and he will be out of bounds. A good yardage there, and he'll get a second to catch his breath as it leads us right into the 2-minute warning. Mayfield looks to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
2nd and 10. Mayfield now. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Boy, that was certainly well read defensively, and the key to any screenplay is space to work, and there was none to be found there, and they tackle him for just a short gain.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5. Going to the air again with Mayfield. And that's complete. It's Chris Godwin. And he is going to have a Bucs 1st down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the 1st down. And that's what he just did.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this 1st half. Mayfield. Right back to Chris Godwin. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. It's another 1st down as they look his way again, this time 19 yards. Charles, to move the chains that time, they had to complete it into double coverage, and they got it done.
And it's never easy overcoming multiple defenders, but he sure made it look simple. Found the right spot to exploit and won his 1-on-2 matchup.
They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that will bring up 2nd down. A run up the middle with Irving. And he'll work free from 1 tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. Still a couple yards short of the 1st as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the 1st half of play. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And the Buccaneers are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. To throw, Mayfield. And it's caught. And with just 4 seconds left in this 1st half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. Less than an extra point attempt here. This is an 18-yarder. And his kick is right there. It's good. So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the fourth quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
We saw a strong first half out of the former Heisman Trophy winner, Baker Mayfield. He had a touchdown pass in that first half, helping his guys to a halftime advantage.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. The Bucs with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Buccaneers offense and Baker Mayfield set to take over once more. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
In motion right, Evans. Back to throw now on first down. And there's a short one taken in by Otten. Only able to gain a couple there, and it's second down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And this is caught by Evans. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 39. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. A shotgun handoff here to Irving. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Dexter Lawrence finding his way through defensively for the stop.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
And there's a short one taken in by Otten. So the completion good for just 3. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
In motion right is Evans. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
Straight ahead, it's Irving. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Brian Burns, the one to bring him down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They'll stay on the ground with Irving, and he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Bucs are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
They'll go again from the 3 here on second and goal. He'll drop to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
When you're this close to the goal line, you've got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
After the sack, third and goal now from the 12. From the gun, Mayfield. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A great play there. His second touchdown of the night. And the Bucs take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful, and that bumps their lead up even further. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Well, the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a 2-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome? A little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
19 yards there on the catch and run.
And this is what they're going to need more of. It's the third quarter. You're trailing. You've got to come out with a renewed sense of purpose, and that's a nice way to kick off the drive with good yardage and a first down.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. It's complete to Robinson. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it'll be second down. To throw is Wilson. Left side, he's got Robinson. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. It'll go as a gain of 4. And that's going to bring up a third down. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee you he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for New York. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. The Buccaneers offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. A quick throw caught by Godwin. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. From the 24 now, here's 2nd and 5. A quick throw, here's Shepard. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 4. Now Mayfield. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Mayfield off the play fake. That is caught. It's Chris Godwin. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going, and right now it's paying off with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
Here's a handoff to Irving. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
A first carry for Rachaad White. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Here's Mayfield. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he's out of bounds, but not before a big pickup that time on what's going to wind up being the final play of the 3rd quarter. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. It's the Bucs. They've got the football. They also are in front here on the scoreboard as we start the fourth. On the handoff, this is Irving. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down. Mayfield to throw it. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Looking for Cade Otton that time. And that takes us from second to third down. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. On third down, they go with Irving. And he is going to be stopped at the 12, short of the first down. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up fourth down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Chase McLaughlin now for the field goal try. This to make it a 3-score game late. And this one is right through, and that will extend their lead even further. So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
After the made field goal, here's McLaughlin back out there to kick it away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And the complexion of this one has really changed a fair amount. That last field goal makes it a 3-score game, so they need points in a hurry with time dwindling in the fourth quarter. Throwing is Wilson. There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that's going to bring up second down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now 2nd and 5. Now it's Wilson. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Wilson. That one taken in by Neighbors. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll make it second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Wilson will throw again. Catch made by Slayton. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. It's a gain of 11 and a giant first down. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be second down. Here's Wilson. Going right side, he finds Slayton. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. The offense on third down tonight, just 1 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. Now Wilson. That is caught. Oh, there's a nice move by Robinson. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Defense was expecting run, and they're dealt a pass of over 15 yards.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution. Even though the scoreboard is going against you, you want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And he's got it. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose, and boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Now this likely a must-have, 3rd and goal. Now Wilson. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Malik Neighbors with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Giants have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Well, they needed 3 scores to have any chance. There's the first of the 3 as they get into the end zone.
Yeah, Brandon, I think that our guys at Next Gen Stats in charge of the win probability are probably saying your chances still aren't great. But now you still got more than 3 minutes to go. You got to focus on the task at hand, which is going to be getting the football back as quickly as possible.
Extra point try good by Gano. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Buccaneers able to recover. Their hands team does its job. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. On the ground, it's Irving. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. 44 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
And what a tough spot for this defense because they know it's coming, but they're just powerless to stop it. What a great run there to start the drive. And you can bet there'll be more where that came from as they try to ice this game away.
Right back to him on first down. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on first down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well.
A run with Irving. And he'll go down here right around the 23 yards. On defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down.
Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7.
They'll run. This is Irving.
A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down. They'll try and run here with Irving.
He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. Now Mayfield. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Bucs try it on 4th down but come up empty. And the Giants are going to get the football back. The D brought the house. They called the blitz, and they get to the quarterback, overwhelming the O-line.
And I would love to know, and we'll find out later on, was that called before the play, or did they audible into it? Because defenses change plays as well as offenses. Sometimes they get the set they want. They go right to the blitz, and in this case, they nailed it. Got right to the quarterback. No chance on that 4th down.
Now Wilson.
Connects with Slayton.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
Wilson to throw.
That's complete. It's Neighbors.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now.
Throw out wide is incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
Here's 2nd down.
Throwing now is Wilson. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. One last shot for Wilson. One last shot at the end zone.
And that is going to officially draw the curtain on this one as the last throw intercepted. So it's a win for the Bucs here, and it was thanks in large part to the play of their quarterback, CD, Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, he really had his A game tonight. He threw a couple of touchdown passes, and he was instrumental in earning this victory.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from East Rutherford.